Right guys, welcome back to the channel again today. Today is a bit more engine building. We've got Chris here today as well.
Hello guys, how you doing?
Hey. Right, today's video is going to be testing piston to valve clearance. There are two different types of methods of doing this. One is if you've got all the tools, which I have, but I'll go into that in a minute. But basically, it's showing you another method, which will be using Play-Doh. So I know it seems a bit funny, but yep, you can test your piston to valve clearance with Play-Doh.
Take us back to our childhood days.
Yeah, innit? Yeah. You got the dial gauge. What we do is, you got the head. We take the original valve springs out of the head, put these dummy ones in. So basically, when you're testing the clearance, you can push down on the actual spring to see the clearance with the dial gauge, which goes on the end of the block there, with you'll put a wire to gauge it at top dead center, basically. So that is the proper way of doing it. I'm not saying this ain't the proper way of doing it, but it is a lot quicker and a lot easier. We'll put the head gasket on, which we've got here. Reason why we're testing for this is for the reason being, this block has been decked. Decked means that a skim has been taken off of the top of the block. Obviously the head there, that's been skimmed as well. So you're losing fouls of like fragments off of the block and off the head. So obviously you're going to be bringing the piston and the valve closer together. So we need to find out if we've got the right clearance for that procedure. If you haven't, there is a way around it. You can go and get another thicker head gasket, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be okay in this applicant, but I'm going to just show you basically how to do it. We will get the gasket, but that's basically the head gasket on. Now, we won't be tightening it up to its full torque and compressing the head gasket. We will be just basically doing the first procedure of torques just to get it clamped down a little bit. And then basically we'll have putty in all these little cutouts. We put the head on, then we put all the timing belt on with the timing cog and everything else. And then we rotate the engine 2 full cycles to get the compression indents in the Play-Doh, take the head back off, and then we'll carry on from that procedure there. So right, we're going to crack on, get the head on, get it all timing up, and get it first torqued up to the first procedure. Now we've got it all lined up, all timed up. This is just a test run basically. It's all lined up with the bottom. We're going to do a full rotation of the engine and see where it ends us up with the piston to valve clearance. So basically this is what engine builders have to do every time they're building an engine. It's not just a case of sticking the engine together, putting all the bearings in and hoping everything's going to be okay. There are procedures they have to do to make sure that your engine is A1 okay and it's going to be on point basically if you're going to add extra applicants like higher lift cams or whatever. So basically that's all lined up. We're going to do 1 full rotation and then basically see where it ends up, how much clearance we got. Right, that's the full rotation done now, so it's all back to lined up. Piston's at the top. You probably won't see it too good. There you go. There she is. Right, now we're gonna strip it all down, take the belt off, undo all the auxiliaries, take the head back off and find out what we got. Right guys, now as you can see on the outlet there's loads and loads of room. They haven't even touched yet, which is a good sign. Now with this you can probably just see the impression of the inlet valves coming down. What we're going to do is very gently cut that in half and that one, yeah, and we're going to get the measurements, the thickness from all of it basically to test to see how much gauge we've got between the valve and the piston. So now back to the clearance. Don't know if you're going to see this, but yeah, you get a pretty rough idea of how far, and even on this side you can see. So basically what we do is we're going to get the gauge, with that. So I'm going to send that off, make sure that's all okay, and then start fitting it all up and carry on. Now we've got all the top bit all done, all torqued down, we've got the cover on. Basically what we're going to do is put the cams in, get it all timed up and start fitting all the rest of the timing belt and getting the rest of the auxiliaries like the turbo on. Going to get the inlet manifold, the coolant system and get everything else all bolted up, ready for install. Everything's all tightened up, belts on, remove the tool, just get the cover. There you go, that's what it should all look like. Yeah, so that's all lined up. That's all done. So right now we can crack on, get some more bits fitted on, get the inlet on there, get all the bolt studs on, get all the water pipes and the rest of the wiring on.